In Better Living today, we're getting some ideas on how to set your holiday table.
They come to us from our friend Nora Murphy of NoraMurphyCountryHouse.com.
Take a look.
Take a look.
Welcome to my country house. We are all set up for Christmas, and I'd love to show you how I made this all happen. But first I want to tell you, this is the gallery. This is where we are, right in between the old part of the house and the new part of the house. Take a left, and I'm in the kitchen. Straight ahead, and I go to the living room. So it's a really great space. It's a versatile space. We call it the gallery because we've got a lot of art and a lot of family collections in this area. So I've got this long table that usually is a breakfast table, lunch table, even a great buffet table. But today it's going to be our Christmas dinner table. I like that it's in a casual space, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make it really pretty and intimate. So a simple stack of tartan wool blankets. This is going to be our tablecloth today. And the fabulous thing about this is that it hides a lot of stains and it's easy to wash, just cold water. Now what I do is I put the two end tartan blankets on an angle. And that way too, and be sure your fringe is hanging down. There we go. Now, what I do is I take a whole different color, but there's a little red in here too, so that ties it all together. And I take this tartan blanket and I put it straight onto the table. Now the beauty here too is that if you have to make a really long table because you've got a lot of guests coming, this is a great way of doing it because you just keep piling the blankets as you go along. I have these beautiful woolly tartan pillows, and again, it just stays with the whole tartan theme. So what I like to do is take this long wooden bench and warm it up a little bit and soften it. And it just makes it more welcoming, more approachable, and you can mix it up too. Mix your tartans, that's what really is the secret here as well. And I've got the Royal Stewart, the Dress Stewart, and right away, our theme now is really coming to life. So I start each place setting with my everyday dishes. They're a little bit larger in scale, and I position them with these chairs because I have a little more flexibility on the other side of the table with the bench. Because I have a narrow table, I can't really put them across from each other directly, so this is really what is starting the entire table setting. I have these beautiful Pendleton tartan plates that actually I'll be offering on my website, the Hunt Club, this week. And what I love is that they don't match. There's all these wonderful different tartans that I mix up on my place settings. And this also just reinforces our really pretty, colorful tartan place settings. So a very simple rule of thumb is knife on the right and dinner fork on the left. And then on the outside, your little dessert fork. Very easy. If you have soup, then that would go on the other side of your knife. So we're just going to keep that going all the way down the table. So I love to set my tables with my La Rochère glasses. They're French glasses with little bees on them. Great to use all year round. Now I always bring a water glass, which goes up top, and then a red wine glass, because that's usually what we're drinking during the winter, is right below it. So I found these wonderful napkins that are just a white cotton ground, but then they have this beautiful little tartan edging. And I've got two different tartans that I'm working with. So I found these beautiful red roses at my local grocery store. It was like 6 for $3.99. This is a really great time of year to buy roses. So what I do is I cut down a rose, and then with my fingers, I very gently open them. And you can do this as you're talking to your friends, and you know, it's very, very easy. You can't really go wrong. And so when you pop that in there, you get a lot of volume. I bought these fabulous lanterns at Stratford Antique Center, and I love them because I use them outdoors in the summer and indoors in the winter. And because I don't have host chairs, we're right across from each other, it's kind of a nice thing to have two larger pieces that really anchor the table. So last but not least, we're going to add a little more glass, and these are little glass votives. Now what I wanted to point out to you is that I add a little water to it, so as it burns down, the wax doesn't stick to the glass. Now, every table also needs a little something that's really unexpected. And you're probably thinking, Nora, this whole thing is pretty unexpected, but I've got these little pressed glass Scotty dogs, and I'm using them as salt cellars. So all that's left now is just to light the candles and wait for the guests. And you know, so many people say, I show my love through my cooking. I have to say, I always say I show my love through the way I set my tables, because I want to make sure that my guests feel really loved and special, and that I put a lot of thought and care into my tables. So I think that it's, as you could see, it's very doable. So I want to wish you all a really very merry, happy holidays.
You know, I didn't know you could force open a rose, and I didn't know you put water in the bottom of the candle. So I
The
learned
water in
two
the bottom of
things.
the candlesticks, who knew? That is
awesome.
that's a great tip. Thank you, Nora.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And it's a tartan weekend for her hunt club, so check out the great times and items on her website at noramurphycountryhouse.com. Thank you, Nora. The people in the studio have questions
Our
about
guest
how to
is
do
weighing
this.
in.